It's been a while, clearly. Life has been kind of crazy. I've been working like a real job, retail, working out and working on my first big published comic gig. So I haven't really had a whole lot of time to post YouTube videos, even though I've been working on one for the past like 4 months. It shouldn't take me this long. It's really something I could have finished in a weekend in terms of the actual filming process, but because I've had so many things happen every time I sit down to do it, or every time I have motivation to sit down to do it, or any motivation I have just ends up going into another project, I haven't been able to finish it. But it's still in the works. It's an art related video actually, which I think is pretty cool. I saw that my medieval outfits video has been getting some new viewership, some random comments, which makes sense because I know medieval weird girl core or castle core, whatever, is kind of on the rise right now. So I might make another one of those just for fun. Right now, this is another how's it going video, update on my life. Yeah, since my last YouTube video, I started working retail. I haven't been able to work conventions because of Trump's new laws. Believe it or not, it's actually affecting people. Who knew? So yeah, I was scheduled to work a convention, I think last month, but they told me last minute that I had to pull out because a bunch of their artists had to pull out last minute because of Trump's new immigration policies. Because a lot of really famous cartoonists are not American, they're European, or Latin American, which makes a lot of problems when you're trying to bring shit through customs to go make money at a convention that is not in your country of origin, where you live. That makes it very, very hard for them to bring benefit to the economy when they can't even get in, or they're gonna be harassed, or they're scared of being detained. Who fucking knew that shit would happen? Nobody could have predicted it. Not a single person could have predicted it. Anyway, point is, I haven't been able to work conventions as much. I might be working Heroes Con. We'll see. In other news, for a while I was working at a thrift store. I'm not gonna say which one. Weird experience. Had to quit about a month ago. I have no regrets about quitting. And now I'm an art teacher for little kids. And I'm trying to go all in into my freelance work. I literally just got hired to do this job like last week, so this is fresh. But I'm still committed to working part-time because I really want to go all in, not just on my freelance work, which I have been doing, but also on my content creation side of things. The prospect of moving out seems the bar keeps moving back and back and back, and it's stressing me out because I don't feel like I'm making a lot of progress. So I figure even if I don't post the video I've been working on, I post something and that's fine. Anyway, that's all the crazy life stuff. Oh, and this weekend I saw Kendrick and SZA on tour. It was so good. I cried a lot. It was an incredible concert. Probably one of the best, like, in terms of like visuals associated with the concert, probably one of the most top tier experiences. We had really good seats. The dancing was incredible. The sets were gorgeous. The set list was crazy. It was so long. I'm sad because we were like the one show that Mustard didn't open for because he had another thing to do. And I really wanted to see the Mustard set, but it's okay. Anyway, I was in Dallas. And when I was in Dallas visiting friends and going to this concert, we went to this comic store that one of my friends has been meaning to check out because he lives there. I forgot what the place is called. I think it's called Cosmic Comics. So shout out Cosmic Comics. It's not technically in Dallas, it's in Arlington. Shout out Arlington. Everybody forgets you exist, but you're there, you're real. And I realized I have quite a few comics. I've accrued quite a few comics since I have last been on here and talked about. I literally just got back from this trip, so I haven't actually sat down and read any of the books I just bought, but I do want to talk about them a little bit and just catch up on what's been going on in my life because a lot has happened. So let's get right into it. Of course, the first comic I have to talk about, Decades. I'm in this book. I am published. They may or may not have spelled my name wrong on the cover. I didn't catch it before it went to print. But this is my work. It's in here. Oh my god, this anthology came out so good. I'm so proud of my fellow cartoonists, my community. We worked so hard on this book, and it came out so good. I have comp copies, so if any of you are interested in purchasing one, I'm gonna give them for $8. If you DM me on Instagram, we can set something up. So it's $8 plus shipping, because I don't know where y'all live. If it's international, I might not be able to ship it to you. But if you DM me and you're interested in a copy, shoot me a message. I will have them for the foreseeable future. So if you think in 6 months I won't have them, you're probably wrong. Unless this video blows up and 60 people want my comp copies, there's probably some available. So if you're interested, you can shoot me a message and get a copy. I'm so proud of having been part of this book. It's 32 pages. We all worked really hard on it. And I hope to do more anthologies with Tornado Conceptions in the future. Follow them on Instagram for more news and updates. This comic is like, I started freaking out when I saw it. I have been meaning to start collecting these comics. These were published in the 90s. It's really important to me to collect them in particular, cause I don't know, like I don't see a lot of comics like this anymore. So this is like a really big deal. I found out about this series maybe like 2 years ago, and I've been looking at copies online, but they're all like $40+ per issue, and I was like, I just want some copies of these books, especially because there are some cartoonists that are very difficult to collect in print. And this is one of the series that makes it a lot more accessible if you can find issues of it, which are extremely rare in my experience. This one in particular, I may or may not have robbed them blind on the DL. I purchased it, but they were underselling it. It's not in perfect, it's not even near mint condition. It's like the edges look like some slight damage has happened. There's yellowing on the pages, some slight water damage. I don't give a shit because I am so happy that I have this comic. It's not even funny. And that's Gay Comics number 19, specifically the Alison Bechdel issue. If you know, you know. If you recognize the name Alison Bechdel, you're like, Bechdel, where do I know that from? She is probably, literally, arguably one of the most important queer cartoonists, specifically lesbian cartoonists, in the last like 50 years. And she is the one who created what we refer to as the Bechdel test. But I love Alison Bechdel. She's her comics Funhouse. She's really famous for a lot of her strips from the 90s. I love her art style. But Gay Comics is very rare to find in my experience. I've been trying to start collecting this since last year, since 2 years ago. And again, every issue that I've come across has been like $40+. And I'm like, I'm not ready to spend that kind of money on some comics. Sorry, I'm broke. But I was at the Half Price Books, and I know the people at the Half Price Books. I know they knew it was good. I don't think they knew just how good this is. And again, it's not in good condition. You can see like there's some like, it looks like a little bug was eating the edge of the pages, and the cover is like warped. There's like water damage, but there's no ripped pages. They're yellowing a little bit, but everything is still legible. The print is great. You still have like the letters and the introductions on the inside, which is why I love collecting single issues. I think I've said it before in the other video, but I love reading the letters in old comics, which is why I prefer collecting the original prints, because I like to read. It's like a little time capsule. That's what I love about comics. But anyway, I've been meaning to collect these, and this is my first one, and it happens to be the Alison Bechdel issue. I'm over the moon about this, like truly over the moon about this. I could not be happier. If y'all can I paid $10 for it. It's a good deal. Anyway, moving on. These are the comics that I got in Dallas. The other two books, they're two things that I've gotten in the last couple of months since I made the last video. Comp copies, I received them about a month or so back, and then the Alison Bechdel book I purchased about 3 weeks ago. the comics I'm going to show you now are the ones I bought in Dallas this weekend. The shop has good finds. If you know what you're looking for, it's a good place to find comics. Of course, I had to pick up number 1 and number 2 of the new Absolute Martian Manhunter series. I was very skeptical about the Absolute series. I have kind of started to form a distaste for like dystopian or like dark timeline stories of superheroes, especially when I feel like what the world needs right now is less like dark pessimism and like edgelord type content that appeals to a lot of like incels in a lot of cases. But I was pleasantly surprised and proven incorrect about my assumption about the Absolute series. Because I finally caved and I read the first issue of Absolute Batman like back in October, I think, because I was over when I was working New York Comic Con, and it was really good. I was really impressed. I liked it was really truly a new interpretation of the character. The artwork was great. The story seemed really fascinating. I haven't read Absolute Wonder Woman, Absolute Superman. I know they're good. I know particularly Absolute Wonder Woman has become a fan favorite. I'm obsessed with her design. Her backstory is really interesting. I love that too. But when I saw that they announced this, they had me. They had me like this. I was like, okay, like, you're joking, right? The artist, his name is Javier Rodriguez. He is cooking. I'm obsessed with his artwork. The way they're doing this book reminds me a lot of the Doctor Strange comics that came out about 2 years ago that I believe I talked about on this channel. Maybe. At least the vibe, the like psychedelic type visuals. Obviously different artists, so the storytelling is different and unique. But I do love this more like new age, like 70s inspired, flat color type vibe. I'm digging it so hard. The more and more I draw, the more and more I feel like personally I am more dedicated to working way more in black and white and then just doing flat colors instead of fully committing to like rendered pages as a personal choice. So seeing people in the like at DC doing this is so gorgeous. It almost like panels like this, they remind me of Caroline Cash's Pee Pee Poo Poo as well, which I feel so unserious saying out loud, but like the vibes are just immaculate. I love the new design. I love how strange and creepy and unsettling and otherworldly Martian Manhunter looks when he's in his alien form and not in his like regular guy form. I cannot wait to read these. I'm blown away. DC is killing it. This is a steal for me. So I talked previously in another video about how I started collecting Elektra Assassin. And I really like the Elektra comics from that era, specifically Frank Miller's Elektra. And I was in this silly comic store and they had the complete Elektra saga for $11. Like, I couldn't say no. Like, you're joking. Like, you're joking. And these books look like they're in excellent condition. I haven't cracked her open yet, but because again, I just got back. But like, and I saw this on eBay. I saw shittier copies on eBay for like $40 a pop. So all four issues for $11. Steal. I saw this, I was like, I can't say no. I'm never gonna get an opportunity like this ever again. Like, you're actually joking. Like, I fucking scored. So obsessed. Cannot wait to just crack her open and start looking at the inks. Ugh. This is like one of my favorite eras of like Klaus and Frank Miller's collaborations in particular. I love this era of Klaus Jansson's inks. So I am so hyped to look at these pages and read the story from start to finish and have my own copy. Now I just have to finish collecting Elektra Assassin. I'm very happy with this. I'm blown away with how lucky I feel like I got. But yeah, Elektra Saga. So happy. These two comics I got, I have to talk about them at the same time. One of them I paid a pretty penny for, and the book is not in perfect condition. The corners are a little futzy, but the print on the cover is pretty clear, and there's no like water damage from what I can tell. The pages are a little yellow, but that happens with these books. Also in the last video I told you about, I picked up my first issue of Bill Sienkiewicz's New Mutants book. And I went to this comic store and I almost totally forgot that I had started collecting that, except I walked in and I was literally about to check out. I walk by the X section of the back issues and I see, or the, I guess N, and I see New Mutants in the corner of my eye, and I was like, New Mutants, let me check. They had quite a few issues, I can't lie. I kind of want to gatekeep the fact that I found these issues at that store, because if I go back, I want to be able to purchase the rest of them. But they had a lot of New Mutants there, including the book that I purchased at the last convention that I was at, or the last convention that I purchased at, which I believe was in Dallas. I could be wrong, I don't know. But I got this issue of Bill Sienkiewicz's New Mutants, you can see, for $5. I have not taken the tag off these. This one's the one that's in better condition, and I paid less money for it. I don't know why it was so much cheaper than the other one. Probably just has to do with the rarity of the issue in this run. But once again, obsessed with the cover. I'm glad I got Demon Bear, because the copies of Demon Bear they had there, the one that was the same price that I purchased, was in shittier shape than the one that I bought. So it was $5, but it was in crappier shape. So I'm glad I made my purchase at the con. But this is gorgeous. Gorge. Love, love, love. Got a little Spider-Man in here. Definitely not a reprint. This one might be a reprint because of the barcode. But it's still a copy of New Mutants. I love this cover so much. Actually, we can check right now. Okay, so it might not actually be a reprint because the ad on the back says 1984. And this is published in August of 1984. So I think they guess that the barcode is new at this point. It's in good fucking shape. I paid $15 for this one, so this one was more expensive. Again, I'm assuming it is rarer to find a higher quality print of this comic. But yeah, you have Mutant Mail. Again, I love reading the letters in these. I know Bill back in the day, and I know this because of Electro Assassin, he got a lot of shit for his art style. People hated his art style. I know New Mutants was received better than Electro Assassin, and so was his Moon Knight run was like house style basically. A lot of like OG fans consider his New Mutants run to be like his peak work, but to me Electro Assassin and the color work he did on that is so interesting. I also, one of the other cool things I love about these issues is I love seeing the old ads or stuff like this. This is for a vid time call, 1-900-720-1234. Call our new video hotline. Get the word on Parker Brothers' latest games. Consumer cost 50 cents per call. And there's a Nintendo ad here in the front, I believe. It's Atari, my bad. I thought it said Nintendo, but I'm just blind. It's Airsoft. I love books like this. Again, it feels like a time capsule. That's like a huge appeal. Look at the Demon Bear. Oh my god. But yeah, I'm gonna continue collecting this series. And now I low-key have my secret sauce spot that now the internet knows about, that I'm just like hoping nobody watches this video. I can go back at some point and buy the ones that I'm missing. But I'm so hyped. I feel like I picked up a lot of really good books recently. And those who know. I considered getting, another thing I want to start collecting is old Marvel romance comics. I think romance comics are actually severely underrated. I know the plot lines are all very problematic. They were very big in the 70s. So the plot lines are kind of very basic, convoluted, at times kind of problematic and misogynistic. But the artwork in those books is really good. And a lot of really important artists had their start in romance comics from that era, specifically at the Marvel Romance division. What's his name? Nick Fury creator guy, Jim Steranko. Jim Steranko got his start in romance comics, and I love the romance comics he worked on for Marvel. I'm like obsessed with those. So I do want to start collecting those. News, to wrap this video up, I just got a sewing machine. My grandfather loaned me some money and I was able to get a sewing machine again. So I'm gonna be able to start sewing again, which I'm ecstatic about. I was able to finish a sewing project I started last year that I had to stop literally because my old machine kicked the bucket and I couldn't hem the bottom of my dress. I was devastated, but I was able to hem it and I wore it to the Kendrick and SZA concert. It was so cute. It was inspired by Claire on Instagram, who has actually designed an outfit for SZA that looks, obviously it's her style. She uses a very particular color palette and she doesn't use actual jerseys. She hand makes everything from upcycled materials, but she's what inspired my look, and it just happened to work out for the SZA and Kendrick concert because SZA wore a very similar outfit to another show many years ago. Yeah, that's my update. I have a sewing machine, so expect more like DIY videos. I have some DIYs planned. I'm hoping I can get the materials for them. There's one in particular that I think is super relevant to the medieval weird girl aesthetic thing that's going on. It's going around right now because it's something I saw that Balenciaga made that I think is actually quite doable at home, as long as you're able to make use of some recycled materials and you get a little bit creative. So we'll see how that goes. I'm not going to tell you what it is. Some of you might have already guessed what it is, but if you haven't, just keep guessing. Keep guessing, or try and guess and do a little research. I don't know. But yeah, thanks for watching, everybody. I really appreciate your time. I know this was a lot shorter than a lot of my other videos because I love to talk a lot, but I just wanted to catch up real quick, let you know that I'm alive, that I'm kicking. I'm still working on stuff for this channel. I'm just unbelievably slow, and I'm spending so much time on my freelance work and on other aspects of my life. It's hard to keep everything in check for me. I'm going through a lot of changes right now, getting my life on track, until some weeks are better than others, but I appreciate your patience and sticking around to see what I'm up to. Yeah, thanks for watching. Bye.